Hello and welcome to Common Royalty. It's our show that talks with some of our ordinary people in northern Michigan doing extraordinary things. I am Bill Freilich. To my right, Mrs. Traverse City, Jessica Mason Freilich. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, and thank you for announcing my brand new title.
You are. You do have a new title. You are the royalty.
That's right, which makes you the commoner.
Yes. Let's not go let a show go by without pointing that out.
That's the highlight.
Yes, it's the best part of the day. Before we get to our guest for this show, we've been on hiatus for a while.
We have.
Last time you were here, you were Ms. Michigan State.
That's right. We got hitched.
Yes, and we got married, and all kinds of things have happened since. And your new pageant is the Mrs. Michigan pageant.
And for those who don't know, which sounds like people are actually wanting to know, that the America system is all-encompassing. Miss America is for girls ages 19 to 25, never married, no kids. Ms., the system I was in last year, is for any marital status over the age of 26. And because of my lovely husband here, I'm now competing with only married women for the title of Mrs. Michigan.
That's excellent. And you are doing that at the end of April. That's coming up very quickly. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, good. Best of luck to you. Let us
Thank
know
you.
how it
It's a little
goes.
self-serving, Mr. Michigan.
Just gloss right over that. Again, we're talking with people, as we like to do on the show, that do some pretty awesome things in northern Michigan.
Making a difference in our community. That's right.
Let's bring in our guest for today from the Salvation Army. Edward Agee is the youth coordinator. Edward, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good to have you with us. Talk to us about what you do at the Salvation Army. We've been there, quite a bit with you, but you are obviously a very busy man,
Right.
doing a lot of things over there.
Yeah, everything I do, that's quite a task. Well, anything that has to do with youth. So we have our Tuesday youth programs that I help run, similar to Scouts. That's the uniform I'm wearing today. So that's why it's got like the American flag and the
And what is
Adventure
that group
Corps. The group I am officially in charge of with this uniform is called Adventure Corps,
Right.
but we call it all character building because it includes the female groups and the male groups. So there's the Sunbeams and Girl Guards,
Okay.
Moonbeams, which is like the toddlers, and then Adventure Corps actually covers all the boys.
Okay.
They have Explorers and Rangers under that.
Oh, okay.
And
And
so
that's age. Explorers.
Yes,
and Rangers.
those are all different age groups.
Okay.
It might take me the whole half hour to figure that.
That's why we
That
just call it
system out,
character
but-
building.
Character building. There's a nice
Make it a
umbrella.
little bit simpler and then figure out which group. I mean, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are the same way. They have a bunch of different names and it feels like
Right.
they
That's
change
true.
half the time anyways.
Right.
So what happens at these
Character building?
character building events these Tuesday afternoons?
We actually pick up the kids from schools, at least the local ones in Traverse City. We have a couple kids that get dropped off by parents because either it's just easier for that family or I know there's one group from GTA that the kids want to insist on changing before coming.
Yes. Those uniforms.
They get left at the Corps all the time.
Oh, I can only imagine. We'll take any leftovers from you.
Yeah, right?
So yeah, tell us what happens. What's a day like over there?
Yeah, we pick up the kids. We bring them to the Corps. That's what we call our community center, because everything in Salvation Army is like Army terminology. So the Corps is like the center of everything we do.
So what's your rank?
I'm actually just a soldier.
Okay.
There's no such thing as just a soldier.
That's
soldier.
right. That's right.
Yeah, a soldier in the Salvation Army is like a member of the church.
Okay.
So I had to go through a class, and then there was like a ceremony and everything. I'm not wearing my soldier uniform today, but it has like the blue Ep8s are the little things on the shoulders.
Right.
The yellow ones here just mean I'm a leader in the Adventure Corps.
Gotcha. Still a man in uniform though.
It is. It is. It absolutely counts. And I know what epaulets are. I lived through the 90s. It's very Michael Jackson.
Ep8s were a thing?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes, Michael Jackson
Kids
made...
today, I tell you. Well, good. So again, an average day. I mean, how many kids come through the doors, and what are you doing with them?
We have anywhere between 25 and 30 kids on a Tuesday at least. So we have a bunch of other youth programs going on during the week too, but we feed them, so we make a meal, and then we split into our different character building groups where we work on badge work. I was working on Salvation Army personalities last Tuesday with my kids, so I kind of made it like a scavenger hunt where I gave them questions and they could see who could find them the fastest on our computer lab.
Oh,
The
neat.
kids are kind of obsessed with the computer lab because
Yeah, no kidding.
there's a good chance at the end I'll let them play Minecraft. So it keeps them a little bit more engaged. It's like there's that
Oh, yeah.
tie-in.
Yeah.
The other groups, I don't remember if one is still working on gardening. There was one working on sewing.
And these are for badges?
Yeah, these are different badges that the girls and the boys can work on. Oh, the other boy group was working on cooking.
Oh, good.
I think it was last week they made cakes, actually.
And is this, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if they ate the cakes. It's not
The
a pertinent
kids got
question,
to-
but
You want to
Take
know.
their
but
cakes home for their
inquiring
families.
minds need to know.
Right.
Are these are programs available to anyone in the community?
Yeah, these ones are all free. This is just a part of what we do at Salvation Army. It's an after-school program. Help kids have somewhere safe and fun that they can go and earn badges. And there's a close tie-in with our character building groups with our away camp in Grand Rapids. They do a lot of different stuff down there during the year. I think there's 2 or 3 different retreats related to that.
Not just summer?
Usually during the summer. There's usually one during the winter, but I think it's like every other year or something like that.
Okay.
And what's the age range for?
Well, there's different
kids?
camps for every age range. Pretty much anything. I don't know what the youngest age is, actually, now I think about it.
What
I
about
think
for
it's
Adventure
completed. Adventure Corps? Adventure Corps starts with kids who are in 1st grade through 5th grade is Explorers.
Okay.
And 6th grade through high school is the Rangers.
So you do have junior and senior high school kids that go too?
Yes.
Okay. And that's just one day of the week.
That's just one day of the week, yeah.
All right. So what else? What else keeps you busy over there?
Say Wednesdays, I kind of supervise a dance team that kind of meets. They're on a hold at the moment. She's trying to get some more kids involved with break dancing, but
I just spoke with her last night, so maybe
Yeah.
we can get her some publicity, get her some community
Oh, this
outreach.
is Luann.
Yeah, it's kind of their program
Yeah.
because I'm also the community center coordinator. I try to make sure I'm there and make sure everything's safe and all that.
So we can put out a plug for that. I mean,
Yeah.
It's what,
Absolutely.
hip hop and breakdancing?
Yes, and this young girl, Luann, 15?
I think she's 16 or 17 now.
But a teenager,
Yeah.
learning to teach as these girls are learning to dance. So I am working with her to mentor her as a teacher, and then she's working with the girls to mentor them as dancers.
There's boys in that group too.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It just needs to get some traction. So yeah, we could bring her on here, move the coffee table. Hey, we can dance on the coffee table. We have permission from Joe. He already said. And now it's on the air,
Yes,
so it counts.
Somebody should see that. So.
Somebody should see that
We'll
happen.
make that happen, yeah.
But Wednesday nights, 4:30 to 5:15.
Is that right?
I think it's 4:45 to 5:30.
5:30. That's right. 4:45 to 5:30.
Show up in that ballpark.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
show up on Wednesdays. But you can always contact Edward, and we'll make sure to get his contact information in there.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
great. All right, Thursdays.
Thursdays, that's actually today. I don't know when this will go to release, but today's a Thursday. Today we have our Minecraft program. It's actually limited slots.
You have a Minecraft program?
I do, and it's not just like we get
Good
together.
thing we haven't told the boys
I
about
was
this.
just going to say, they cannot watch this episode. Literally every day. Is Edward going to be there on Friday? Are we going to see Edward?
Yeah, the kids come in. Parents actually drop off and pick their kids up for this one, just because
Right.
there's only so many slots, anyways.
Are you full?
I think I just had someone drop, so I have like one computer open.
Dibs.
Mom and Dad
But
get it.
it's
that's
more
it.
than just getting together to play Minecraft. It's using Minecraft as a medium to teach.
Right.
So I use it whenever I can to tie it into like a devotion of some sort. So we did the story of like Jacob when he was working for his uncle making sheep. So I started the class with like, all right, here's your challenge. Who can get the most sheep to in Minecraft? That's the thing. You can make
Right.
sheep mate and
Right.
reproduce and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, we know. We hear so much about Minecraft.
Anyways, so like they actually got
Maybe
to
they
do
don't
the
know.
thing that
But
Jacob
if
had
you-
to do
if you don't know.
in the story, and they had
Don't
that
know.
connection through Minecraft. I've been teaching them how to use I forget the name of the program language, but there's a way in a mod in Minecraft you can use to teach them programming.
Gary's Mod?
No, that's a different game altogether.
Oh.
It's called Computercraft.
all
I do know
blur.
the name of the mod.
I really thought I was going to know more about this, considering how much we
They talk
are
about- We have
to deal with it,
educated
yes,
about
yes.
it.
They have these little like boxes called turtles, and so
Okay.
they can't actually physically like mine or build anything, but they can use program. It's all like a visual, like instead of like saying turtle move forward, there's actually just a little arrow saying move forward. But they still get the basics of like how to build a loop, how to put a program within a program, stuff
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
That's a lot of fun.
And we do that for a half hour, 45 minutes. And then I have them working on like layout and design. I mean, architects themselves use Minecraft sometimes because it's fun.
Yeah.
That I'm getting a little kickback right now because they're getting real annoyed. I gave them actual blueprints and said, duplicate this.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I
That's a
love
great
that.
idea, yeah.
How'd they do with it?
I have like 3 kids who are like almost done with their blueprint. It was like a basic apartment, kind of modern.
Yeah.
The other ones have at least got the base floor down because it took them a long time to figure out how to just to read it.
Yeah.
But that's giving them a step ahead of how to understand that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
what a great
We
idea.
just saw something on Facebook last night of some company or group that has built a Harry Potter's world in their Minecraft
Hogwarts.
world.
Yes,
So there's
there's
lots
lots
of
of
there's
stuff
lots
like
of
that.
stuff you can do with that. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That's
and,
cool.
and it's not the like traditional version of Minecraft. It's called Minecraft EDU, which actually isn't for sale anymore. Microsoft bought them out, but I bought it like right before Microsoft bought them out.
Oh.
And it's a specific version of Minecraft meant for a classroom setting. So I actually have like a teacher status or like an OP if you were used to the old server terms.
Isn't that OG?
No, it's like the operator. I think it used to be what it stand for. Anyways, I have almost like the godlike powers and the kids, so I can make it so that I can freeze them. I can, kick them all out of the server. I can.
All this, and you can't get this anymore.
Well, Microsoft has their own version now.
Okay.
I was going to say parents everywhere need to be able to freeze the game and kick kids out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
After 30, 45, 60 minutes.
Well, it's like that meme that the toddler gives mom attitude, and so they go to school, and she goes in and destroys their village. I laughed too hard at
I was
that.
going to say, wait a minute. Slow down there, lady. Wow. All right. And that brings us to, what, Friday, the weekend? I mean, usually we see you there on
Yeah,
Friday night because
Fridays.
you're supervising as
yeah, there's
Spark in
just
the
a
Dark's
lot
going
of
on.
stuff that goes on Fridays, depending on the week. We have your dance team, Stars.
All American Stars.
Yep, so I'm usually there for that. It feels like half the girls that are there are part of our other youth programs anyways.
Yeah. Well, once you get into the Salvation Army, there's so many programs available that you really start.
Start realizing there's a lot.
There's so much available. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moms do Spark
Yep.
with Abby, and we've had her on the show to talk
Okay,
about
so
Spark.
maybe the show viewers might know what Spark is.
For the long-time watchers,
Yeah.
our
They-
5 groupies.
What they tend to do on Fridays, and I don't know how often they're doing it, they kind of had to cut back on doing it every week, but it's, what do they call it? Crafting for a cause.
Yes.
So for instance, they made like yarn or something out of trash bags last
They
week.
brought somebody in to teach them how to make the.
Really?
And I remember when the lady came to our front desk, I was happened to be at the front desk the day that she came in, and she showed us this like blanket made of trash bags but like you couldn't tell, it just was like this plasticky material, and it was
Right.
like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And apparently they make them for like homeless people or someone who might be out in the rain and needs something that'll dry quick. And
Yeah. It's
So-
a great idea.
Yeah.
And
So,
every
like,
crafting
different-
project that they do, like
always
you said,
goes
is
to
for
some charity of
cause.
some sort. One of my favorites I like to bring up is the dog toys that they'll give to the Humane Society.
Yes.
Out of old T-shirts.
Yeah.
You just cut into strips and tie them in knots, and there's your dog toy.
Well, and so it's kind of an all ages, all ability level
Yes.
crafting project. There have been a few sewing projects that I've seen, but there have been a few sewing people. And then the rest of
Yes.
us were allowed safety scissors to cut out the squares.
I actually ended up on a sewing
Story.
machine one of those weeks.
Did you? Good for you.
See, he's got teacher status.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm telling the needle. You'd think I would be okay with that, but
Oh, once it was going, I was
I wouldn't
fine.
think.
Every time it broke down or whatever the thing on the bottom fell out, I was like, all right, somebody who knows what this thing is, fix it.
I have a limited scope of knowledge on this machine.
The actual process of sewing I can do.
Yes.
It's the whole like making the machine start.
Yes. Yes.
It's
I
complicated.
don't know how to load it. I don't know
Yeah.
how to solve problems. I can get it and go.
Mm-hmm.
But putting my hands in, I mean, it feels like a table saw to me. It just,
Makes you nervous.
it really, I think I'm going to stitch my finger to something. Oh, now I'm going to have to Google if that's ever happened.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
I'm sure it has, but I need to justify my fears.
So,
They can't be irrational.
so- no, they're not.
moving
How
on.
many? Yeah, how many kids? Have you seen come through the doors? How many regulars? I mean,
Ooh.
there's just. I mean, we've been there on a Tuesday when you've had the music program going on. I mean, there's always.
Oh, I forgot about the music program. We
Something
didn't talk about
We
that.
didn't
yeah.
even talk about the music program.
Yeah, so at the tail end of our character building, we do music programs. We kind of do them back to back on purpose because all the kids are already there.
Right.
And we have a lot of like people at Salvation Army who know about music. So we have our junior band. So it's actually mostly brass instruments, and all of them are just learning. We have our guitar ensemble. Guitar Center donated a bunch of guitars to us.
That's why I was learning.
Yeah, whenever we do our best when people are part of our music programs to supply the instrument for them to learn. It's still our instrument, they're just checking it out.
Right.
Similar to what the schools do.
Right.
So we offer these kind of group lessons for free.
That's huge because the cost of an instrument rental
rental.
or
It's
purchase
prohibitive.
is, it just makes you say, well, what if my kid gives up on this in 6 weeks?
Yep.
I can't get into a 2-year rental contract. I mean, that's...
Exactly.
And it
That's part
may
of
not even be an option.
They're expensive.
They're expensive. That's why we started the dance team. That it's not that parents don't want to put their kids in activities, but
They can't afford it.
yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like food and rent have to come first.
Right. Right. What's most rewarding to you about what you're doing over at the Salvation Army?
It's when I see like the troubled kids in particular, someone going through something rough, kind of make it through it. That kind of growth you see, where you know something rough is going on at home, whether it's like a family member died or just life at home isn't the best, but then they come to Salvation Army and it's somewhere safe for them to be.
Yeah.
And like I always love, there's this one family, obviously I'm not gonna name names, they always come up to me and say how much they love the meals on Tuesdays, and like he'll regularly drop hints. Him and his sister will be like, yeah, our mom doesn't make a whole lot of meals at home.
Yeah.
We'll microwave a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
or eat at McDonald's a lot, but
Well, and when parents are in crisis,
Yeah.
cooking goes. You know, the ability to purchase, prepare, and eat healthy foods is a luxury that people don't take as a luxury.
healthy food is actually more expensive than
Yes.
junk food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've learned that the hard way.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you have
Fruit
to.
alone is expensive.
The fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
It'll kill you. And even if you're
I've been saying that for years.
a donut wouldn't do
Fruit
this
and
to me.
vegetables will kill you.
Well, but even in meat products, the cheaper stuff has the chemical fillers. So even when you're trying for your family, so to be able to come to a food bank, which you also offer.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's another thing about our all the stuff we do with kids is there's always that tie-in to the rest of our programs too, where we have our food pantry, our community shelf, where any day of the week, as long as there's food from Food Rescue, it's just on the shelves people take. A lot of time it's like the disposable stuff like bread and vegetables. We have,
And that's whenever.
yeah, and we have free meals 3 times a week. Lunches, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
What times?
This starts at noon.
Noon?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
What I wanted to ask you to address to anyone who's watching too is we went through this Safe from Harm training a few weeks ago, and people who have never been through the doors may say, well, I don't know you,
Who are these
Edward, or
people?
who are these
Right.
people that I'm just going to give my kids to for an hour or 2 hours a week?
Anything having to do with youth for Salvation Army, they have to have Safe from Harm trained adults there as part of the programming. Any volunteers that we have working with the youth has to be Safe from Harm. And what that means is it's just like a standard. One of the biggest things about Safe from Harm is making sure there's always 2 adults whenever possible. That way there's not that one-on-one relationships aren't bad, but one-on-one relationships behind closed doors can always lead to rumors or bad things or whatever. It's to keep both the adults and the kids safe. And it, if nothing else, it becomes a deterrent to those who would want to take
Want to get
advantage.
involved for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
It's not appropriate to be locked behind closed doors with an adult outside your family.
Well, and
And our
again,
camps follow the same rules.
Even transportation.
Yeah.
You called me one afternoon because you didn't have a ride-along buddy.
Yep.
Wait, that sounded very Kevin Hart.
A
right?
second adult is the way
Yeah.
to kind of phrase it.
Somebody to be in the vehicle with you when you transported the children.
Yep.
But you do those things. I mean, background checks and the Safe from Harm training.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are all part of what happens in the building, so parents can just feel safe and confident in knowing.
Yeah, and that's included with like
The
our
kids.
day camp too. That's another one of my big responsibilities.
Yes, the day camp. Is that a summer program?
It is.
Okay.
So a lot of our youth programs actually stop for the summer.
Okay.
Mainly because
so much
it's
more.
It's all encompassing for the day camp. So day camp is kind of like childcare, except it's a camp where parents drop their kids off. We run 8 to 5:30 every day. We only charge $80 a week to families, and half of our families, at least last year and the year before, were on scholarship of some sort. We offer up to 50% scholarship to help those families that really just can't afford it.
Right.
And one of my dreams when it comes to day camp, my kind of philosophies is I want to keep them active as much as possible.
Right.
The more idle time they have, the more idle time they have to get in trouble.
True.
I mean, not that letting them go and play on the recess, play on the playground or in a
Busy
field
is
is
good.
bad. I just want to take them to somewhere new
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Right.
So we'll go and visit the Grace McDonald Park or Graylickville Park or the Traverse City Playground instead of just ours all the time.
Right.
I try to get them on field trips at least 4 times a week, where even if it's somewhere free, let's go
Right,
to this
right.
park. And Traverse City is just such a great area for it too.
Yeah.
There's so many state parks, city parks that it makes it really feasible. You just have to time a few things right with the tourism.
Oh, sure.
I got real lucky last year where every time we went to Graylickville, it happened to rain the morning of. No one was
So
there.
no one wanted to go.
I think
except
3
you.
or 4 times we went to the beach. It was man, no one's here. We get the tables to ourselves.
So how long have you been at the Salvation Army now?
I've been at Salvation Army about 1.5 years now. I started October 2015.
Do you have kids in your programs now that have been there with you the whole time? I mean, have you?
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen
When I
growth
started,
and change in some of those kids?
Oh yes. So when I started, there was maybe 10 kids, part of our youth programs, and part of that was just because the previous youth leader had just left, and that's common whenever a youth
Right.
pastor or kids pastor leaves. Is the parents had gone so much investment into that leader almost.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that youth leaders and children's pastors have such a high turnover because that's such a common.
Right.
Right.
If it's not families that are all invested in the church as well as their kids.
Yeah.
It tends to be all those families where it's just the kids. It's suddenly all right, well, now everything's different. I don't know how it's going to be. I'm going to hold off for a bit.
Yeah.
So you've seen change in kids over your year and a half, and I imagine it's different for every kid. But how long does it take for you to start, maybe reaching a kid or make a connection, or you start to see that change?
It takes a little bit of time, actually. You'd be surprised. Just part of my philosophy as a youth leader is I want to make sure I'm always available whenever I can. So it really, I get really angsty and upset when I'm sick, because it's now I can't be there for the kids.
Right.
And so I feel like it's my fault, even though it's all right,
Out
I'm
of your
throwing up
control.
or I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't put these kids at risk of getting this too.
Yeah.
But that's a part of it, is just making sure you're available week in and week out to show them the love of God whenever possible, and use those kind of teachable moments.
Yeah.
There may be a lecture time, and not always. There may be a moment where it's this is officially I'm teaching you something, but kids don't always respond to that as well.
Right.
You got to be really receptive to listen to when they are open to learning something important.
Yeah. We only have 2 or 3 minutes left. What else do you want to know?
Well,
what else do you wanna
we've
say?
talked a little bit about the kids who have stuck with the program. Do you have kids who come and go? Is this?
Yeah.
I don't want to paint the picture of this tight knit group because that can be intimidating to come in as well. Are you always accepting new
Yes.
kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always accepting new kids. We do have kids that just kind of come and go. Specifically with our Tuesday youth programs, we have kids who are involved in sports. And that's just a common thing. We'll have some kids that are there for a season, maybe 2 or 3 months, and then basketball starts up.
Right.
And so then
Gotcha.
that season, they're not there. But then they come back as soon as that's over and they pick up where they left off. And it's not usually that big of a deal at all.
Contact info. Come in to the Salvation Army
Yeah,
just stop by.
or visit our website. All of the information's on there.
Salvation Army
Traverse City.
SA Traverse City. That's right.
Yep.
Easy enough.
I'm pretty sure it's SA Traverse City.
You're really easy to find because I've had to look you up a bunch of times to get the address. So.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's a link in there to get to the youth stuff, and they'll have all the information on the camps, the different permission slips for character building, for the day camp. Day camp one's pretty long because it's a camp.
Right.
Right. Well, cool. We'll keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for all you do.
Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Edward Agee from the Salvation Army, the youth coordinator. Check out satraversity.org or just stop in,
Yeah.
sign up, tell the kids about Minecraft, and that's pretty much all you have to do. Then they just show up, right?
That's just wave the flag. They're coming in.
Yep.
In their last, 60 seconds or so, as a mom of kids who have been there, give us your perspective on, I mean, Minecraft is the draw, but really it's more than that.
It is the draw, but they can play screens at home. And so for them to look forward to going out, look forward to Friday nights, and there is a sense of community, even though it's kids are, around at computers, and they're not on the computers the whole time. Sometimes they're playing basketball, sometimes. It's just getting them out of the house, getting them into a group, getting them interacting with other people, and looking up to another adult male. I think that all families appreciate any time you can get a role model in your kids' lives. So you're important to our family, so thank you.
Thank you.
Well said, both of you. I'm all for clap, so we're going to have to wrap up the show.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, go ahead and talk. Thanks for joining us. We're going to try to pick up the pace with these
We're back.
in the next couple of weeks and months ahead. So more Common Royalty to come. And as always, if you've got a suggestion for a community leader or a nonprofit group that you'd like to see highlighted on the show, give us
People
a
that
call.
you see who work for our community, work to make a difference, and the unsung heroes, the people that you don't necessarily see on the news or in the newspaper, but who have a story to tell and can inspire others to give of themselves and work in their own communities.
Excellent.
On
great.
Facebook, Common Royalty
Yes,
TC.
check us out. This is Jessica Mason Freilich. I'm Bill Freilich, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Common Royalty next time.